There's something else they're hiding that's buried in this New York Times story. Hat tip to my good friend at Fox. You know who you are, texting me this morning, who found this, and he's smart enough to dig right through the nonsense. Said, hey, what's up with this one? Let's put up this last little takeaway from the New York Times piece that's just kind of thrown in there as a throwaway. Remember, everybody knows each other, and everybody has something to hide. Quote, New York Times. They're talking about an index of messages here. So when I get to this, they're talking about hacked emails, that the Russians hacked emails and have a bunch of messages. Other foreign governments had an index of these hacked messages by U.S. government officials. So now we go on. It says, but an index of the messages compiled by the unnamed foreign ally that gave us these hacked Russian messages show that they included emails from President Barack Obama? Oh boy. As well as members of Congress. Mr. Obama's White House counsel, W. Neil Eggleston, decided that investigators should not open the drives, citing executive privilege and the possibility of a separation of powers uproar if the FBI sifted through lawmakers' private messages. Keep in mind, they had no such problem doing that with President Trump and then candidate Trump. So let me translate for you what that means, why that's in there, and what the real story is, and what their narrative is going to be. Translation comes first. Hillary Clinton was over in Russia and emailed Barack Obama from her private server. The Russians hacked it. Why is that a problem? Well, number one, it speaks to the disturbing nature of how desperate Hillary Clinton was to keep her information from official government servers, that her team was dumb enough to go over to a known adversary, Russia, with high-level counter-intel and intel capabilities, and actually from a private, unsecured device, email the President of the United States. Do you understand how if there's levels of stupidity, that's a level 10 on a 10-point scale? That's not the big problem, though, folks. We all know Hillary and her team weren't that bright. After all, they tried to hammer, smash, and bleach bit their systems to clean any emails so that you couldn't read them. The problem here is that's not what Barack Obama told the public, folks. Remember what I've been telling you again for 2 years now, based on really good sourcing. The media is not protecting Hillary Clinton in this email scandal. What do you mean? They love Hillary Clinton. Nah, they do, but they're kind of done with her. They'll throw Hillary Clinton under the bus in a moment. Not because they like or hate her or anything. They're not protecting Hillary here. They're protecting Obama. Obama's their golden calf. He was their de facto savior. If Obama's legacy is dismantled and he's exposed as the corruptocrat he was, the entire ethos of liberalism collapses. Obama is their Ronald Reagan. Imagine if someone told you, Reagan was a Russian traitor, and you found that out now. We'd be destroyed. Reagan was an icon to us. Of course, that's all, but you get the point. Mm-hmm. Now, when Obama's malfeasance with Brennan through Spygate and through this email scandal are exposed, it's going to dismantle any myth in the future that Obama was even a remotely non-corrupt president. He knew about Spygate, there's no doubt in my mind. And he also knew about Hillary's efforts to subvert and to subvert information channels and to exchange classified information which adversaries were hacking and using against us. How did he know? And what's the problem? Well, first, he gave an interview a while ago, a long time ago, when he was still in office. And when asked about the Hillary email scandal, that Hillary had a private email, not a government email, and it was unsecure, Obama said, I don't know anything about it. I heard it from the news. Really? Then how come Hillary's emailing you from a private email? Nah. I got you. Don't worry, I'm ahead of you here. Some of you may be saying, well, Dan, I get a lot of emails. If he got an email on his device, whatever it was, and it said from Hillary Clinton, if you don't actually push on the email, he probably doesn't know exactly where it came from. It could be Hillary at state.gov. Maybe he was just confused. Oh, no. No. That's not what happened. See, we have this place called WACA. Not like Fozzie Bear, Waka, Waka, Waka. WACA stands for White House Communications Agency. It's a military entity that secures all of the president's communications. That's why it's called the White House Communications Agency. President Obama had a BlackBerry. That BlackBerry had to be whitelisted so that, some spam account from Russia can't email Obama.
Right. Right.
And he was only allowed to receive emails from specific private email addresses that were whitelisted into his BlackBerry. Obviously, the opposite of being blacklisted. Who told those people to put a private email address they knew was private from Hillary Clinton in that BlackBerry? There is no way in Hades the Obama administration was unaware of the fact that Hillary Clinton's emails were coming from an unsecure server, were exchanging classified information, and it was being sent from foreign adversary soil who was likely hacking it because she was emailing Obama direct, and the FBI and them knew about it. Now, I translated it for you. I told you what really happened. What's the spin from the Times? It's going to be obvious. It's very few ways to spin that disaster. That is lipstick on a big, fat, juicy pig right there. There's no way to lipstick that one up. So their line is going to be, you would think the FBI would be interested if foreign adversaries had classified information from our Secretary of State and President. Their line's going to be, well, the White House thought this was privileged information and, separation of powers and stuff. Keep in mind, separation of powers they don't care about at all in the impeachment trial, where they think they can do a fake impeachment, not even take a full House vote on it, impeach the president, and demand everybody from the White House show up. Two different narratives. When it's Obama, no, it's separation of powers. Those Obama emails that the Russians were reading, the FBI shouldn't be involved. They're Obama's emails. No, they're the Russians' emails now. But that's separation of powers, executive privilege. But when Trump says, hey, I was having a conversation with John Bolton about national security, get him up, no executive power, get in here. That's the real scandal. I'm telling you, we are sitting on a time bomb here, and I'm begging you, Adam Goldman from the New York Slimes, I get it, you're an opinion left-wing media hack, you're not a serious journalist, I understand that, but I'm humbly imploring you, as a citizen of the United States, to surgically remove your head from your rectum, put two and two together in your own reporting, and dispute anything I just told you. Did Lisa Page not say that the FBI was deceived and lied to by Brennan? Do you think she's lying under oath? If you do, produce evidence otherwise. Are you telling me Brennan didn't have access to Steele's information, despite the fact that the briefing he gives to Harry Reid is then put down on paper the next day that has information only from Steele? Are you telling me that the source the FBI interviewed in January didn't say what you said in your own piece? The source said, which is, this is all bullshit. Almost slipped there.
Almost.
Are you telling me Christopher Steele in October of 2016 didn't meet with the State Department and say to the State Department that one of his sources was a Russian disinformation specialist specializing in intelligence? Take your head out of your rear end and tell America the truth. Stop with the preconceived notions, the full picture, the nonsense political accusations, and just tell us the truth, man. I have to get to it on Monday.